I sometimes struggle to accept the different standards of living.
That's exactly what mine was always say. Doing light ones.
That one is light.
You're about to start crying.
No, no, I'm not. But I struggle to accept that. I feel like especially with regards to like black tax and family, I struggle to accept the fact that we all like grew up in the togetherness, but then now in adulthood, people are not at the same place. Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely TMI.
You don't want to be the reason we do it again.
Let it be somebody else. But not me.
Girl, is it because it's Q4 or is it because it's a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Is it because it's like, I don't know.
Do you not feel like Q4 you're running on like 2% battery consistently throughout, no matter what you do?
But is this not adulthood then?
Is
this not life?
Or is this Q4?
I feel like,
yo.
And you know what I keep telling myself is like, Murugi, you could also just say no to the work. You could also just say, oh, no, I don't want. No, Lydia, you can. You can
say
be
no
like,
to expansion.
Yeah, you can. You can say, oh, someone's like, growth. Lydia, do you want to MC this event? No, I'm tired. You could say no.
That's the line for me.
You could.
But you're immediately me now. Yes. What time? So there's this. Yep. Next.
I'll be there. I'll take 2 seconds at the gym. I will change in 5 minutes.
A banana.
I'll be there.
And go. We go.
Your cute little bowl with grapes and yogurt in the morning. I was like, well, at least she's eating.
At least. Do you know what? This is a mistake I made to give myself a pause. That pause has cost me dearly. It has cost me dearly. But you know what? We thank God. Working in Q4 is what we pray for content creators and working like crazy because these are the months where things are like really intense.
Yeah.
But that's why, guys, maybe the energies might be 2% battery, but we're doing our best to bring it to 3.
Yeah. Me, since I started this project of like, I'm building my mama house, it's like, it's because it costs a lot of money, obviously, to build a house. So now it's just like, I see costs everywhere. So any opportunity I see to make money, I'm like, wow, that's a window there. Yeah. That's a stone there. That's some concrete there. I'm seeing it everywhere. Yeah. So now I'm just like, yeah, let's just work. Let's just do it. We'll rest in January, babe.
That's what I keep saying. But when I think about January, it feels so far. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, but we have our little trip next month.
That's true. First of all, had you not said yes to an event which was going to be on that day?
No.
Yes, that weekend.
No.
Yes, I've nothing going on whatsoever. Pin me down. I'm available.
No, but do you remember our trip was during the week? It wasn't even on the weekend.
No, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Liar.
Sunday.
I'm going to confirm right now as we are speaking. You see, it's here. It said Thursday, 7th, 8th. I see.
Do you even check your calendar before you confirm things?
Once in a while, I expect Nancy to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which event had I said yes to?
Sharon.
Was it supposed to be that weekend? Oh, that time I hadn't even seen it. Well,
Literally,
thank God it was moved.
Me being told that my partner for my vacation is engaged at the time we are supposed to be on vacation.
Anyway, speaking of that event, please, if you want to be a content creator, check out our Instagram so that you can sign up for the content creation masterclass.
Please do.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, it will be good to start this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. This is TMI Podcast KE. If you are new here, and what we do, if no one has told you, we subscribe. We subscribe on YouTube. Yep. We subscribe on every single podcast platform that you're listening to, because that's how you're able to be an active member of this community, not just like a silent person in the background.
Exactly.
Here, what do we talk about? We talk about sex mostly.
We
must be honest.
Although, actually, I don't think we talk about sex as much as we talk about relationship. Yeah, it's just that when we do talk about sex, that's the one that always blows up. So it's just like
that last one, the embarrassing things about. So now
Lydia's rice is famous on the internet, and if you don't get that reference, watch the episode because Lydia has some rice.
But let me tell you this, guys. Do you know what demystifies shame?
Yeah.
Talking.
That's it.
So that thing really stayed with me. But now that it's released into the whole wide world and it's been shared everywhere, now it's like, it wasn't so bad.
But is it your shame that is released by talking, or do other people feel like their shame is released by you talking?
It's definitely my shame. My shame is released. You keep... Other people can feel shame if they want, but for me, my shame is done.
But
It's
also,
done.
there's a funny thing is like when you talk about your experience, my shame, even if I don't talk about it, it's silently released because it's like, other people have also gone through it. Then
Even
it's okay.
worse.
Yeah.
Even worse. Me, I'm even fine.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
So it's demystified.
So we are here to help you release your shame. So even if you don't say anything, us, we're here to just tell you.
But that's it for the year, guys. I've released enough shame for everyone for a good year. You know, talk to me in February again.
Once in a while when I'm just like in a bad mood, I'm just like, Lydia's rice.
Well, Lydia's rice.
That she took back from someone's stomach. Wow, where is that guy today? If you're watching this, sir, look at it. Sorry. You want to break Beryl's mic and she's not here.
Oh my God, no.
Besh's mic.
Dear Shalom.
Exactly, please. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning to this episode. Today, we are going to be talking about things that we struggle to accept.
Yeah. Some of them are general, like might be like related to everyone, but maybe some of them are like specifically to us, ourselves. Because the truth is, especially when you're in the mental health, wellness, self-development stage, there's this kind of ideal that you can change everything, that really all you have to do is just like put in the hours and work enough and be organized enough and take up enough skills and you somehow change things. So now, as I think a big part of my healing and self-development and self-actualization is knowing what is just beyond me. And now some of those things are really difficult to accept because of my solution-driven energy. Sometimes it's like my therapist said to me, sometimes some things are not to be solved, they're to be accepted.
No, that's dump her. Who that's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying for
every day.
No,
every day.
No.
Yeah.
And what actually makes me so anxious about that statement is the fact that sometimes you don't know. So now, okay, this thing has come. How do you know that this is the one for being accepted and not being solved? How do you know this one is not being solved?
What for her is like when she saw I'm reaching my marks in what I can solve. And some things are to be, for example, grief. You're not solving it, you're accepting it. The healing work is to accept it. There is no solution. We're not having that person back. My guka is never coming back. When I feel sad, I feel sad. And I'm feeling sad just to be sad. Nothing is changing that. It's just to accept.
No, but things can change that. Like you can be like, oh, I'm going to take a swim. I feel better.
Yeah, but it didn't solve it. It helped me accept it. It didn't solve anything. He's still not here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so some things, my people, are to be accepted, not solved. Word from my therapist.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is definitely something I would struggle to accept. Is that statement. It's just like, what? As a firstborn, I can imagine that is also super difficult to accept. And me, as I consider myself firstbornish because I feel like I'm always the person in the home who's always like trying to help.
You a full-blown firstborn.
My firstborn sister would disagree with you.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to be the firstborn for ages. But yeah, that's something I struggle to accept. I really struggle. Ooh, I've just thought of another one. In fact, let me just write it in my notes. Wow.
So I guess that one, the easiest one, being a firstborn daughter of an African household, one thing I struggle to accept is that I'm not always in control. I think a lot of my therapy work has been about telling me, I need you to come down off the ledge. You are not in control of this. You're not going to be able to determine this and this and this in your life. You're not going to determine when things happen. You're not going to determine on how things happen. Sometimes I might be able to control, okay, I'll be here at this date, but I can't control all the other factors that are going to affect my experience. So most of my work now is about staying in my body so that I can control my perception
of whatever happens.
Yes, because there are too many things outside of you to be trying to control how people feel, like how people are living, what this person thinks. And the more I've done that, the freer I've become. I can control my perception. Sometimes I actually do put myself in a position. I'm like, okay, I want to stab this person. This is a true feeling and a valid feeling at that. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. You want to stab them, but what about this can you control? From where you're standing, what is it that you can change here? My perception. Do I want to stab them because I'm not able to draw the boundaries that I need to keep me safer? Like, then I get back into my own body, because that constant trying to be in control, it robs all of your joy. I mean, literally all of them. Because even when you're enjoying something, you're not, because you're trying to control how you enjoy it. It's a cage. It is it's you who locks the key, and you hold the key and you're screaming to be let out.
Right. I want to disagree slightly. As somebody who is still on the side of like trying to gain control.
This is the means of firstborn. The means of firstborn in your family.
I would say, you see, yes, it does feel like a prison of like always trying to be in control. But you know what would make me have a better experience? Being in control.
But
So, for example, if I try to grasp as many things, to be in control of as many things as possible, if even I end up not being in control of all of them, at least I can be in control of half of them. And at least I can be able to determine what the experience is like for me. Because for me, sometimes it's just like the whole concept of perception. If something is annoying, it's annoying.
No, perception is so powerful. Even in the way you live your life.
My God,
actually, in fact, half of what you're always talking to women about is about perception.
Right. Okay. Maybe I just don't see it that way. But like for me, I see it as like, for example, this person is really, really upsetting me. So in this situation, I could change my perception and be like, okay, fine. I could see this as a positive thing. I could whatever. Me, all it does is make me allow me to make a decision about not being in a situation where I have to change my perception with you.
So that's the thing. Where the perception thing comes in is when you're beyond.
Okay. You have to. You have
now
to
there's
be
nothing
there.
we can do.
Yes.
So where you are in your power to change something, change it
for sure
immediately. But where you're not is a perception thing. Maybe something like sickness.
Yeah.
It's like this is what we are doing. Or maybe somebody's sickness that you love. It's like there's nothing that's gonna make us see this in a good way. Or like we're not gonna change this anytime soon. So what can we do? We're in hospital. Thank God we have the resources. You've got to find something to keep going, because a lot of life is going to be telling you what you're gonna do.
Now, literally, off yourself right now. Yeah.
So now.
And I feel like with regards to that, one of the ones that I said that I struggle to accept is the fact that there are things which will happen in your life or in lives of people around you which could completely alter your life as it is right now. Like could completely alter it. Last week, my cousin was in an accident. He's a conductor, bus conductor, and he was a lorry hit the bus that he was on, and he was literally thrown off. He's been in hospital for like a week now, almost a week and a half. He had to have his leg amputated. And like literally, so he's not yet woken up. So like as we're speaking right now, he doesn't even know that his leg has been amputated. And imagine the trauma of waking up and this has happened to you. And that's not something like, that was just like that day you just woke up and you were just like posting on Instagram, just like, oh wow, September is amazing and what. And now you're going to have to literally get used to like living life anew in a completely different way.
But it's not, I know if you said I know it's not Nikki.
Yeah, no, it's not Nikki. Yeah, it's just another cousin of mine. But like that is such a scary thought to me. Like this whole past week, I've just been going to bed thinking, like one day you could just be like living like this, and the next day this is now your new reality, and you now get used to living like that.
That's
like
it.
Things literally happen. There was also a nanny that I once had. I know all these things are bad things, but also overnight you could become a billionaire. That's also something that could happen. Yeah, but I had a nanny like many years ago. She was like married to her husband. They had 6 kids. He used to work for Kenya Power, and like he used to be like the breadwinner of their home. And one day he like fell from the pole. He was like up doing like Kenya Power things, and then he fell down and was paralyzed from the neck down. And as of that day, now she became the sole breadwinner of the home, and now that's her life. That's her reality.
Yeah,
they thought
that's his reality.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. There's also him.
Him, yeah.
But they thought that things could happen beyond like what, I guess it's still that thing of just like things will happen that you can't control, that you don't know. That makes me so anxious, but also makes me hopeful, because they could be good things. They could also be bad things.
Yeah. Funny enough, I tend to see that a lot of the good things that happen to me feel like they're somehow an expression of my doing. But bad things seem to come from nowhere. I don't know what it is. Does everyone else feel that way?
Bad things is just like, it's just the devil has just scared me, and
but
it's just
the good things.
It's like God,
I see how I
manifested. I manifested.
Yeah, right. There's some way we view things that way.
I think that's a human thing, because we would love to not imagine that all the years you've been lying have not led to this one bad thing.
You know what I mean? Let me tell you as well.
Yeah.
When I broke my leg, that completely shifted. And by the way, it really did it scathed my trust with God a lot. It's something I had to work myself through.
Right, yeah.
Because I guess I believe that, I say it's God who protects us. I say that very much with my chest.
But what happened that day?
And it's like, I can't imagine that God did that to me. But I think, I don't know who was telling me, they were telling me that sometimes it's like God allows things to happen. Sometimes it's not necessarily that he's the one who's deciding things happen, but he views things happening because we've got will, we've got all of these things, that he's not the one who's like controlling every element. And that was like, okay, so what about other elements that he
Right.
might allow to happen to me? It actually took a while. Actually, it's now like only recently that I feel like a bit more stable in my trust that I'm not gonna just go out here and I'm gonna be hit by a truck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's
actually,
so
even
scary.
I feel like to protect my relationship with God, I don't know if this is biblical, but I see like all the hurt and the pain and the suffering and whatever, all these things that are happening, like Israel and Palestine and the children who are dying. I'm like, this cannot be God's will for people.
I can't
It
imagine
cannot
that
be.
either.
And so I feel like that is the devil or the enemy or like the evil that is in the world that is prevailing, but that is not like God's will.
Or us humans,
Or
like
for
doing bad things to each other.
Yeah, because people are
we have
bad.
will. We have will.
We do.
Yeah, we're
But
able
that's
to make
scary.
those choices.
I struggle to accept the fact that there are children out there who just suffer. That's actually something that I can't think about without like it bringing tears to my eyes. Like there's a child out there who is hungry. There's children who are hungry. They are not eating.
That is the place you always go. Like children being hungry.
My
that's your
sisters
thing.
always are just like, oh, you know how Joanne feels about kids being hungry. I really struggle with that. Like just like when I think of all the food there is in the world and the thought of like kids not eating.
Yeah.
It's just I really can't.
So something
really
that's
struggle.
I guess terrible to a certain degree is that one of the things that we grew up seeing growing up in the UK is the constant abuse of some sort of children, whether it's in the hands of strangers, whether it's murdering, whether it's molestation, as in the most heinous things. In fact, sometimes when I think about my childhood, I can remember when Madeline was kidnapped. Like you think about kids, you think about your life from these big points of children who are hurt. So like now for me, it's not just food, it's all of these other grotesque, disgusting things that happen, and adults just think that that's something they can do, and that's just what they do. And
this
that's fine.
episode has gotten very dark very quickly.
Yeah, we're so sorry, guys. But those are the kind of things that definitely keep me up at night. And then the worst thing is that how small you feel to changing it.
Right. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, we can all do something.
Yeah.
We can all do something. And actually, by the point, I don't know if by the time you guys are watching this, whether we have announced like the tickets for our event in
We must
December.
have.
By now, this is like next week.
First of all, we need to. I don't even know why we haven't done that right now.
Yeah, why haven't we?
Why
Where's your
haven't
poster?
we? Poster girl.
Who?
Get into it.
Guys, these people are working me
This
like
one.
a dog. I work like a dog day and night. Anyway, by this point, probably we have announced it. Exactly. And for our TMI social at the end of the year, we definitely want to give back to society and work with a CSR initiative, which we'll definitely be telling you guys more about. So please make sure you're following us on Instagram, TMI Podcast KE, and also our individual pages, Lydia KM Murugi Muni, so we can tell you more about that. But we definitely want to do our part to like contribute positively to society. And for me, anything to do with women and children, that's where I want to be.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah,
anytime,
definitely
any
that's
day.
where I want to be.
We can do our part. And by the way, a lot of things pertaining women tend to be underfunded, despite the fact that it seems like that's all we are talking about. But it's us who tend to push these things ourselves about the things that that matter to us. Was that yours?
Yeah, no, that was I think yours. But damn, who chose this topic? It was Lydia.
It was you.
Whoa,
I suggested
I have
it.
screenshots. I have receipts of her sending and saying, let's do this topic. Anyway, let me do something slightly lighter. Sometimes I struggle to accept the fact that I will never be a younger age than the age that I am right now.
Really?
Yeah. Like I will never, ever, ever be in my 20s ever again. I will never be 30 ever again.
I don't struggle with that.
Yeah, no, I feel like I don't feel shame about being 34, but it's just like I will never, like they'll never ever I will never be a 20-something-year-old Murugi ever.
For me, thank God.
You
Thank God.
what were you going through, baby?
No, not even it. Every year,
Yeah.
I become a year older. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm done with that, because like I feel it's like graduating like schools,
Yeah.
right? But now every year I feel like it's like a high school of sorts, or a primary school.
Yeah.
So it's just like every time I step up, ain't nothing to look back there, ain't nothing. But I feel because a lot of my life is just more like me growing and expanding to this person, maybe
Right.
when I have kids, I'll think, I wish I was 33, alone, chilling, not having to
Yeah,
worry about.
maybe.
Maybe I'll think about it from that perspective, because
Yeah.
each year what's changing is like I'm getting more freedom. I'm getting like
More
more
money.
emancipated, more money.
More growth.
So now it just was I'm expanding, you know.
Right.
Some things that hurt is like what you can't have in these other years. Like now I'm never gonna have my guka in another year. Things like that.
Yeah.
But they don't make me want to go back.
Seriously.
I want him to come here.
Yeah. Even me, I wouldn't say that I want to go
It's
back.
just
It's more of just
intense.
like, that's just so crazy that will just never happen. Like, years are just going. And then at some point we'll be 40, and then we'll be 45, and then we'll be 50, and we'll never be 34 ever again. It actually makes me feel so grateful for the present moment. It actually makes me feel so
This is the
grateful.
youngest you're
Yeah.
ever gonna be.
Yeah, that's... And you know, the funny thing is, like, when I'm interacting with Ethan, he makes me feel like I'm so old in a way that I'm just like, I remember making my mom feel like she was so old. But is this how she was feeling when she was 34? And I was like younger and just like, oh my God, mom, you're just so like, what?
My mom was 32 when she separated from a 9-year marriage with 2 children and relocated to the UK.
And you?
I can't have
33.
a cat. I cannot have a cat. I've been trying to say I can have a cat, and I can't.
Yeah, please don't do that.
And
And
when
I
I-
can never visit.
Huh?
Think of others. Why
Oh
would you
yeah,
have a
because
cat?
you visit so often.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
there 2 minutes
shouldn't.
ago, remember?
And the last time you were there?
Lydia,
Right.
let's take
Slow
this
down,
off
Savannah.
camera.
Savannah,
Savannah,
slow
slow down. Please, dear Lord.
Yeah, so yeah, we used to make them. Actually, I used to feel like
Yeah.
someone who was 30 is like, wow.
I
So
know.
what's the point of your life then?
Now look at us now.
And so when people look at me like that, I get it, baby.
Like, we
I'm not even fighting
understand. It makes
I'm
sense.
not even fighting it. I was there telling the 30-year-olds.
It makes sense.
Okay, mine are all intense. Maybe let
Oh,
me think of something that's
please.
not so intense.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, another thing that I struggle to accept, and I think we were talking about this with Lydia recently, it was to do with like when we're talking about black tax and like how we support our families. I sometimes struggle to accept the different standards of living.
That's exactly what mine was. I thought we said doing
that
light ones.
that one is light.
You're about to start crying.
No, are you? No, I'm not. But I struggle to accept that. I feel like especially with regards to like black tax and family, I struggle to accept the fact that we all like grew up in the togetherness, but then now in adulthood, people are not at the same place because somebody is more successful, someone maybe less, somebody maybe goes through a lot, maybe some people take longer to bloom. Like, there's just so many differences, and sometimes those differences feel so awkward and like strange to me, but they're like, that's just how life is, and you kind of just have to accept it. It's like even among friends, we are not always at the same place. Even with, I mean, no, not with your partner. With your partner, I feel like you're mostly at the same place if like you're living in togetherness. But like with family and with cousins who you grew up with and friends, it's just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is something that's really difficult for me to accept. And we were talking about when we were talking about this, I had mentioned that I had a conversation with my pastor about something that was frustrating me pertaining black tax. And he told me, he's like, when people can't take care of themselves, when they have the ability to take care of themselves, and you impose yourself to do more care, you can't. That frustration you're feeling it might be because God is not in that. Because it's not that this person can't take care of themselves. There's people who really do need the support. Like maybe some of my cousins who need help with like education because that's it. They're unable to. But when somebody can, maybe somebody gets money, they waste theirs and you use yours to help them. There's a reason why you're frustrated. And it's not like, oh God, you're sending me this assignment. Is it God's? Is it God's? It's up to you to make it God's.
Whose
it's
assignment
up to you.
is it?
Whose assignment is it? You might be assigning something like from that perspective when it's really not about that. Sometimes it's just about, are you able to stop projecting your own standard of living onto someone else?
And you see, that's my question. You see that part where you just said, are you able to? So the other
The
day,
answer is no.
Yeah. The other day when I did this what do you call it, welcome basket for my nanny,
Which was so cute.
right? Thank you. I thought that was really, really nice.
Yeah.
It was literally the best moment ever, and I love her so much. I always want to kiss her in the mouth,
Mhm.
not literally before someone sues me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I in the video, there's someone who DM'd me, and she was like, "Hi Murugi, I noticed that you put brands that you yourself don't usually use. Is there a reason for that?" And you'll notice, like in the video, I wanted to include as many things as possible. As many things.
There's one in particular, I was like, I see you, but the thought is beautiful.
Exactly. And for me, it was like, so this is my standard. Let's say the spray, for example, my underarm spray, I always use Nivea, but the one that I bought her was Dove, because the Nivea is 720 bob. The Dove one was on offer, it was like 450 something, and I was like, what am I trying to achieve here? I want her to have Dio. Already she doesn't have Dio, so already where it's coming from, it's like you're coming from zero. Right? You're coming from
These
zero.
are great words.
No,
yes.
but you see, it's not great words, but it's like, it's the truth, isn't it? So it's like, and you see now when she asked me, it was just like, and it wasn't coming from a malicious place. It just came from a place of like, oh,
Curiosity.
yeah. So it's like, so if you wouldn't use it for yourself, why are you getting that for someone else? But it's like the fact that I choose, for example, Hermes sandals, but if I get you the ones from Bouchique, does that mean I don't think you're worth Hermes sandals?
And I feel it's like, no, this is a very different standard for sure.
Yeah.
And also, it's not that you wouldn't use it. It's that you don't use it. There's a difference.
Right.
So there's many options in the market. And if I've chosen this one for myself, it doesn't mean that all of these other ones, I hate them and I would never know.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the one I choose. And I chose this one for her.
Yeah.
So I get where she's coming from. It's basically like, yeah, you're doing a nice thing, but it's like on a lower budget. Yeah.
But yeah, that
it's not-
literally...
my
That's
money
it.
to me cannot at all be,
Yeah.
like somebody else's.
Exactly. So anyway, but
What
it
did
really
that stir up in you
So
for you to
me,
remember?
it asked me, so was it actually a nice thing that I wanted to do, or is it like, how do I articulate it?
Yeah, what did you feel when she said that?
I felt like, is it that I don't think she deserves the same standard of things that I use, that I bought her that standard of things? And you see, now I've had a lot of back and forth about, like, you know how I feel about being a good person. So I was like, was this good? Am I a nice person? Was this a nice thing to do? Would it have been nicer if I had gotten the Nivea and Yves Rocher shower gel and I don't know what else? But you see, now that accepting of just like, sometimes, for example, if I'm taking my kids to a X school, let's say an international school, but now you have children and you can't afford to put them through school, and I need to pay for them school fees, do I have to pay for them at the school that I'm taking my kids to?
Not even close.
And that's what I feel so just like,
No, I feel like what you did was an act of kindness, like a great act of kindness. And what we offer to other people tends to be a fraction of what we have, whereas what we offer ourselves is as much as we have, because it's ours.
Exactly.
So it's like, even when you're helping someone else, I'm giving you 5% of what I have. It can't be that, oh, this is not the lunch that you would buy. For other people, I afford a fraction of what I have, because all of it is for me and all the other things I've got to do. Whereas when it's your money, you can do all of it. You can spend the top for you because it's yours. So you can have the 100% access. Yeah. It was such a wonderful act of kindness. But of course, because it's like big and it's you who's done it, it's gonna come with like this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was so lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also there's like a quality. Then I would have been like,
yeah, obviously it's not going
there would have been a standard of like, babe, okay, I get it. We're trying to save a coin, but
girl,
yeah, but no, I didn't see any of that. I just saw that,
good.
okay, this is, you're giving from a fraction of what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and like you said, if God also only asks for 10% of what we have, it's just like, how much of what you have are you willing to give other people?
What's your percentage of your
it is
family?
the biggest.
Are you serious?
It is the biggest you can see.
No. Why is it the biggest? What's
because
going
I
on?
had to. So actually, the reason why it's so much is because I usually
context. What we're talking about is our spending app. So now
insert icon here.
Yeah. It gives us a percentage of where we are taking our money.
Yes.
I've told Joe to put that and make it black.
Yeah. That's where we are right now. But the reason actually why it's that expensive this particular month is because I usually pay Nelly's rent for where she stays in bulk. So usually I'll pay like for a few months, like 3-4 months at a time. So it just happened to be due this month. And so because of that payment, that's why it went so high.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
fine.
now you see next month it'll be way lower because now I don't need to pay the rent.
Fair
You
enough.
see?
I actually think you're doing great.
I think so,
Yeah,
right?
I think you're doing
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Your total spending is not even bad at all. Yeah.
But after on day one, I was like at 60 something thousand. I was like,
Yeah.
Savannah, slow down.
down. Slow down. But no, I think you're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you been tracking this month?
No. Literally, when we passed after day 3, now it's just all over the place. And let's just say October is gone. And I'm traveling. Have I traveled already?
No.
Right now.
You're traveling
now.
right
I've
now.
traveled
She's traveling.
right now.
Exactly.
So okay, by the time you see this, I'm in Paris.
Paris, baby.
Paris.
So lovely. Unfortunate that you couldn't take me with you. That's
Yeah.
a bit selfish.
Imagine
Actually, as
I
a friend,
asked them,
are
and
you
they
a
were
nice
like,
person if you're
no,
not?
I was like insane.
As in a plus one
But
just
I'm
for
going
a
to
trip.
represent.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to represent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll bring us some goodies from like the Eiffel Tower.
Like
or
the
whatever.
goodies that you bring me when you go away, right?
It's not always about like tit for tat.
It is.
Sometimes
It is. Try me today.
I hate her.
Try me today.
Anyway, guys, download this app. Download that app for spending because it'll really show you. It'll show you. Because I could have sworn that my home or like my kids would take the most, but like apparently not.
Yeah,
anyway.
you need to know where your money is going first before
Yeah.
you start doing. However, I have sent for my investment fund and my savings already.
Good.
Whether or no I'm not tracking, I've already done the things I need to be doing.
That is fantastic. We are
Okay.
proud of you.
Something else that I struggle to accept is that some things that have hurt me are always going to hurt me. That I'm not going to evolve past where they don't. And one of those things is my dynamic with my dad. Because even if it healed today into perfection, I told you guys we're not even like in beef or whatever per se. But even if it healed, I will always mourn the time that it was shit.
And it'll always be painful.
And it will always be painful.
Do you think the pain, right now, I'm also trying to think of that particular context. Is the pain of that experience, is it for the Lydia who is here right now, or for like the younger Lydia who hadn't gone to therapy and who still had expectations of him and who still like had hope that you guys could build something meaningful? Because me, I feel like sometimes when I feel the sadness, I feel it from a place of like, I really feel bad for that Murugi.
Yeah,
I really feel bad for her.
for her for sure. And I feel bad for especially when I was a teenager and I was just in the throes of all of these emotions, and it was that desperate need to have like that father's approval, etc. I feel devastated for her. But in general, because I think I'm deserving of, in fact, the more I see that I'm deserving and the more my self-esteem grows and the more I think I am deserving of good things, the more that devastates me.
Yeah. And now I start feeling like, that. Does he know? Do you even know like how does he even know? Like, people out here are literally crying to hang out with me. People are paying for a masterclass to come and listen to me, and you get it for free and you wasted it. Yeah.
Basically, from the perspective of like even just from the perspective of who I am to him, I'm like, bro,
I know,
you know. But then
Fumbled.
now the work that you do in therapy it's okay. Kill everything, break it. I also have this phone if you'd like to break it as well. Actually, the biggest thing about about growing into this acceptance that I'm saying I struggle to accept is that people won't always see that. Your vastness and amazingness, some people will fucking miss it.
Even exes.
Oh.
Yeah, actually. And there are people who also...
And you can't even fight it.
That's it. There are people who also may come across your content and just be like, no, it's not all that.
Oh my
there are people who may
so
even meet
annoying.
you. Yeah, there are people who even...
So
That's
annoying.
it. They'll meet you in person and just be like, I don't get the hype about Lydia.
Yeah, like, what's that?
Yeah,
Her
no,
energy
I don't, yeah.
Those ones are easier to accept because,
Actually,
who are you?
I refuse. You know why? Okay, clearly I struggle to accept it as well. But to me, all those are haters. Even though someone would be like, no, maybe they're not haters. Maybe they just don't vibe with you like that. Or they just don't like your content. No, they're haters. That's all.
Whatever needs.
That's what helps me sleep at night.
It makes total sense
really?
that you don't. Yeah, because I see that my vastness is not for everyone. Not everybody wants to hear about the changes they need to make in their life. Maybe someone wants to be told it's everybody else's fault but you. So when we're here, I'm here preaching about all of this. It might be annoying. Maybe somebody doesn't want to see someone springing out of bed saying affirmations. Oh my God, the world is so beautiful. Woo! Maybe somebody doesn't want that.
Maybe someone just didn't like your face.
Even maybe to them I'm a dusty.
Someone didn't like my ass. I mean, that's a hater. Someone didn't like my ass.
But like sometimes I meet people and I can't stand them and I don't know why.
Oh, you're so right, actually.
It's like there's nothing, you've done nothing but you know, so even me, I can be on the receiving end and it is so okay. If you don't like me, imagine it's fine.
That's something.
It makes sense.
Actually, it's easier for me to accept that if people could accept the fact that you not liking me or you not liking my content is not an invitation for you to now message me and be like, by the way, I don't like your content. Or like, you know what, I'm not going to change because you don't like me. You know, I feel like if you whenever I interact with someone who I don't like or like maybe their content is just doesn't whatever with me, it just means, okay, fine, I'm just not going to interact with them or their content. But it's not an invitation to now be like, to come tell you, by the way, I just need you to know that I really don't get why the hype about you.
Let me tell you, what people don't understand is that every interaction you're having with someone is like a bid for connection in one way or another. So when you've got to message me,
needy.
When you've got to message me to tell me that you don't like me or something like that, you are trying to connect with me one way. Because you didn't need to do that. The people who truly don't like me, and for real, it's like a justified, they don't want to interact with me. That's how, like, they really can't stand me. They don't even want to interact with me. But you who's in my DMs, trying to interact with me, it's okay, baby. It's okay. I feel you. You're trying to connect. It's okay, babe. It's okay. If you're in my DMs alone, we are family. I'm not stressed.
I literally, you know, these people who these days I block people so often. Oh my God! In fact, I've stopped going to my DMs because I'm like, I'm going to start. The followers will just be going down, dropping. The other day I blocked someone because they had DM'd me. I was eating something. I think I was having chicken wings and a Coke Zero.
How on earth would that even spring anyone into?
Thank you. This person DM'd me. This person has been following me. It shows they've been following me since June 2022 or something like that. They had sent me a DM in 2021. They had sent me a DM in 2022. They had not sent me anything for like 2 years. Their DM on this day was like, ha ha ha, that's not a Coke Zero. Like,
actually, to be honest, one of the things I do assess when I'm blocking someone is how often you've been interacting with me. If I go up and I'm like, okay, you are fun, today you're having a bad day, or maybe something's happened.
Agreed.
But you never interact with me, or every interaction is like cheeky and...
And you know, it's always those cheeky ones. Those are the secret haters. Because it's like you've not said something mean like your hair is bad, but it's kind of like...
Those ones.
Those ones. No, me, if I even have to be like, no, you're not. This is my house, and you're not welcome here.
And I'm not about to rinse around my own home.
But actually, me, I wouldn't say that I struggle to accept the fact that I have haters. But definitely, they're there.
Oh, for sure. And as a polarizing woman, I'm literally walking against everything that women are taught to be.
Exactly.
Why on earth won't I shake a few tables? And that's okay. I feel like I accept that.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, another thing that is crazy to me, the other day I posted my rose, when I got a new rose, which is functioning perfectly, guys. When I posted it, I had so many DMs from people saying, but I thought you're married. Why do you need this? Wait, aren't you married? What is this for? It actually baffles me that women out there are thinking like that. That is like, and in fact, at the point I was just like, are we in the same earth?
Let me tell you, a lot of times when you give feedback about your followers specifically, I get this view of like another corner of earth of like how women see things that is really shocking to me.
Definitely, because like I feel like I have an audience who sometimes is like, especially the married people, are like slightly older, slightly more traditional, definitely not the kind we have here on TMI. It's like, actually, my audience here on TMI and the one on my platform sometimes feel like two completely different. But people are just like, I don't understand, what do you use this for, how comes you have this kind of thing. And sometimes I'll reply to the messages because it's like, I want to enlighten you. I want you to know that your sexual whatever is in your hands, and also you can use toys with your partner. It doesn't necessarily need to be that it's just you by yourself. Also, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are sexually unfulfilled in your mind. Like there's so many reasons, you know. Maybe we should do an IG live about that. About like sexual awakening in marriage. Is that something you can teach us about?
I mean, with all the experience that I have, I feel best suited to in fact lead this
And that's why I
conversation.
thought about you. You
Yeah,
are the
it's
one.
me. Maybe we can do sexual awakening period, and
Oh
then you can
yeah,
give your POV.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And the way
Oof.
like sex in marriage is seen is like this just for babies energy, you know?
Actually, yeah, it's
Yeah,
very,
it's like
very
it's not supposed to be like spicy or sexy. It's supposed to be you let down with your legs open, you get a
make the
baby. The
children.
next time it's 2.5 years down when you're ready for another one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
But no, we're
problematic.
changing that.
That is
We're
problematic.
changing that.
Okay. Something else that I struggle to accept is that my sisters may one day die. My kids may one day die. Funny enough, when I think about like my either of my parents dying, in my head it's like I can
Makes
see how
sense.
that would because again they're older. But again, who has told you that now the older people are the ones who
Yeah.
will be the ones to die first? But the thought of being on earth without either my kids or my sisters is I can't fathom that thought.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
also
exist to
you
me.
haven't experienced grief of any kind.
Well, I have, but just not that close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not like that intense. My life is changing because this has happened. So
Mm.
yeah, now if you don't know what that's like,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, now you have, and the more people you have in your family, the more you're gonna feel that anguish. I'm so sorry. I'm not just talking about yours. I'm talking about mine. You see how I am this close with all of my cousins.
Yeah.
Every one of those represents a severe heartbreak, assuming I outlive them.
Oh yeah.
Yes, actually, after my guka, I was just like, so I see why people are not close to their extended family because I have a
It's
long
actually a
road.
lot. Yeah.
I have a long road of like really close people to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was asking the other day, would I rather my partner dies first or I die first?
You, what do you say?
I said I think I would rather he dies first
Death.
because of the kids. I just feel like
And
having a
women
dad and not
have,
having a mom, I just feel like,
oh, if they're small, for sure.
if they're small, yeah.
Yeah. But even when they're older, it's more like women find a lot more meaning in community versus
Yeah,
men. Like, especially when
exactly.
he's older, it's like,
Yeah, I would hate to think of just like him living and like I'm not there
I
to take care
know,
of him,
yeah.
like to
And
be with
also me, when
him.
I think about like, okay, who's going to then come in because chances are he remarries. Then who's
Why
taking care
would
of
you
my
say that?
kids?
What do you mean that?
All
What do you
right,
mean
he
by that?
never remarries. He
Yeah.
never remarries.
What the
Yep,
hell?
you're so right.
Your biggest ops could be seated right next
He
to you.
never remarries
Thank you.
and takes care of the 3 kids alone. Something you would never do because you'd be married the next
Girl,
day.
2 minutes. Gotta get that pipe. No, anyway, seriously, no.
Yeah,
I would
no,
not.
that's a difficult thing to
I
accept.
can't
I
even,
get it.
yeah. Death
Yeah.
generally of anyone is just like, yeah.
Yeah, but my Guka's death has helped me even deal with like what's going on with my other shosho. My other shosho had a stroke, and she's not eating on her own. She's not going to the bathroom on her own. She doesn't talk at all. She at best sometimes makes like sounds. Sometimes she opens her eyes on her left side. She's like it's completely paralyzed. First of all, she was like a strong woman, like, you know, those women. So to see her like that, first of all, is wild. But I've realized that my Guka has prepared me for this, you know, because it's like I kind of get it. It's like people get sick and then maybe they die. But that was a really hard concept when my Guka was going through it. Because I've seen like she's mom passed away in 2019, and of course we were close, but it's not like now how a family member was. I was definitely more devastated for like she and her siblings, like more than it was like me and her were close per se. So yeah, I think maybe it's prepared me a bit.
Did she live like an active lifestyle, like a healthy active lifestyle? Does she actually, or before the stroke, this your show, was she living like a healthy
she was.
active
In
lifestyle?
fact, she stopped when she had no choice. You know, she was like those going women, like she was doing farming and all of that. Like she started deteriorating maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, like maybe 88, something like that. So for the most part, she's been up, 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 up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Mm.
And then sometimes it's just kind of like you don't know what lot in life your people or you are going to get, because there are people, like I have people in my family who in their 60s their health has already started to like super deteriorate and they're not doing well. Then I have people like my mom-in-law, she's in her 80s, and for the most part, besides like having like arthritis, she's like healthy and like her wits are about her and she's like okay. And it's like knowing like where you're going to fall or where the people around you are going to fall is just kind of like, but that's, I guess that's life.
There are some predictors for sure that I'm seeing is like, okay, how you take care of your body is going to determine certain things. However, there's a lot of randomness to it. And that's something which I'm coming to accept as well. It's kind of sometimes just random. Someone just wakes up and they're like, this, like something is going on with their leg. And now this is all we talk about. Now this is like, you have a thing with your leg and that's it. Yeah.
God.
This is so grim.
I don't know. Not every time can be just like about sucking dick and excitement, but I guess that is I mean, that's life. All these things are part of life. But let me tell you something. I feel like the key thing in like being an adult or like being a human being is you just have to have hope and optimism. Like that is the only thing holding us together. I'm hopeful that my kids are going to get home safe today. I'm hopeful that we are going to make it to December. I'm hopeful that I'm going to live to see my grandchildren and great grandchildren. You just have to be hopeful, because honestly, if you start somewhere and just thought of like, guy, by the way, I could die tomorrow. Then what are you got? Like literally, there's nothing. You just have to be optimistic and hopeful.
Humans without hope don't know how to function. You have to have this trust in God, in just faith in just how the world works, that things are going to be okay. But I definitely struggle to accept that. Actually, there's a lot there.
Okay, my last one I would say is something that Lydia has, I think we've said it here on the podcast as well. I struggle to accept sometimes that the hard, sad, miserable parts of life are also life. It's like life, it has not paused, so that for this moment and then now we are getting back to life.
Now I've fully accepted that now.
I really still struggle to accept that. Really? I really still sometimes, it's like, even like, for example, when Zach and I have a fight and let's say we're not speaking or like things are not so whatever, I struggle to just sit in that like, right now things are not great, but like they're gonna be great at some point. But also this is part of marriage. Also, this is just like, this is also here. It's like part of your marriage. It's not like, oh, now marriage has paused so that we can like go through this and then now we're back to like, oh, now this is what our marriage is. It's actually happiness and joy. No, even this part is part of what your marriage is. And that's really difficult for me to accept.
What about it is really difficult to accept?
Again, the fact that I can't control.
That's it. I was gonna.
Yes,
I was like,
know. I know.
Because you are in the solution. It needs to get back. We need to go, as opposed to like sitting through to see what that part is bringing you. Actually, something that has helped me accept it is always understanding that everything ends up being for my good. Maybe that's a delusional statement that just helps me get through life, but I always want to be present.
But actually, that's biblical. All things are working for our good.
So I but as in truth, do they? Because maybe you die,
but not the day. Good. And maybe that was good because if you had stayed alive,
exactly. You see, so it's like from that perspective, I start to see the value in even the difficult parts, right? Yeah. So when I broke my leg, I was just saying, I don't know how I'm even going to get through this. Like, guys, 6 weeks,
we couldn't tell. Because you were optimistic from day one. You were smiling.
God. I had dark times where I was just like, seriously, this is it? 6 weeks? And I kept telling myself that even in this, I'm going to look back and be like, thank God it happened. I just, that is just what keeps me going. But then it allows the thing that is happening to work on me, per se, so that it can
learn the lesson.
Whatever.
Whatever, exactly.
That's what helps me.
Okay, I guess you have to hold on to that. I don't know if it's just like an impatience I have sometimes in life. Like even in this,
you're definitely not patient.
Building process. It's like sometimes I'll be talking to like my lawyer and they'll be like, okay, so we're gonna go and register this. It could take like, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks. And just timelines sometimes just like annoy me. You know what I mean? It's just like, why can't things move faster? Why can't people do things now?
And where are you going, baby? We talk about this all the time, but where are you going? You're not trying to slow down.
Some things, it's like when something is like a task oriented, I want the task completed. You know, because when things are like in between, it's just kind of like, what, like, for example, if like, let me say the example of the fight with, let's say if I've had a fight with Zach, it's like, I know that sometimes time is what is going to heal it. Once you've come down, once I've come down. But also sometimes I'm just like, if we both just decide right now to not be angry anymore, then we can just get back to like being in love and happy. Do you know what I mean? So why can't we both just decide? But I know why we can't, because if someone has done something to hurt you, it does hurt and you are angry, and sometimes you do need time to get over it. But sometimes just kind of like, I wish we could just decide. I wish we could just get past, just like move. Do you know what I mean?
So here's the thing, that sometimes, from with that perspective, it feels like the only moments that matter are the ones which are like, it's completed, the completed part, right? But when you're in the completed part, to your own admission, you say that, whew, that's over and done with.
Great.
So when are you
Which
ever...
that's a good exhale.
Yeah,
I
but
like
it's an
the exhale
until now the next thing is being looked at to complete.
Exactly.
So when are we ever enjoying it? When are we ever just...
in that moment of the exhale?
In that 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Those are the only moments life is being enjoyed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna just...
That's why I struggle to accept. That's why I struggle to accept. But you see, this whole thing of like, the journey is also part of it and whatever. Yeah, I struggle to accept that.
I totally understand. So that's changed in me for sure, because I don't want to be 50 and see I've skipped them all. Everything was done. Okay, and then
so then they were done.
Now.
Yeah,
and then
they were done.
And then life is
now
done.
We have finished. We have celebrated the 50th birthday. Whew, we are done.
No.
We can breathe.
I wanna savor. I wanna savor a lot more. I wanna savor a lot more.
But actually, it's in the wanting to savor. I feel like sometimes the fastness, it's like you want to be able to savor more, as opposed to just savoring this one. It's like you feel like once you finish, then you can start savoring the next one. Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
You haven't savored this one.
Yeah, but let's now
also focus on savoring this one. If you haven't savored this one, it's only like an imagination that you're gonna savor that other one.
It's actually my kids who kind of like cause me to have that like intentional slowing down-ish kind of thing, because with them it's just kind of like, now they are 5 and they will never be below 5, and you'll never have a tiny baby. Well, our old lady has tiny baby, but besides that, it's just kind of like, now that's just gone. And it's gone.
And it's done.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a work in progress, definitely.
And listen, if like, I know I'm a fast-paced person, but you're now like maybe a couple of notches higher. So if it's taken me this long to slow down, then it's gonna take you some time
a bit of time.
Yeah, because that's how you've always been in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I thank God that I married a man who is literally the slowest slowed down human being ever
and he's
in
still
life.
Successful.
Exactly. So now he forces me to slow down.
In fact, you're not spacing yourself into success.
Yeah.
You're just spacing yourself into achievement and no enjoyment whatsoever.
Ooh, what if achievement is enjoyable? Achievement is enjoyable.
So far, you haven't proved that it is. So maybe let's try something else. Maybe let's try. Maybe let's try something else. Even the mic was like, it's done.
No, I thank God actually that I married someone like that, because I feel like if I hadn't, now we would just be like do. But with him, it's always just like, babe, relax.
Where are you going?
Chill.
Someone just to remind you.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah. But anyway, there's some things you're also allowed to just say, this is who I am.
You know?
Who is it hurting? Who is it hurting?
Nobody.
And I have other admirable qualities.
I do.
Pick one of those to admire.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good
so what
night.
have we learned in this episode? Life is tough. Life is dark.
Everything sucks.
Hope is delusional. That's it. But here's the thing here. I actually think that when I admit to myself the things that I struggle to accept, they remind me that I just feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that I struggle to accept some things. Yeah, because they're just hard to accept, and that's it. And I can just park them instead of fighting my way through to acceptance. I'm not accepting it.
Actually, you don't have to accept it. Yeah,
I struggle to accept it, and that's that.
That's it. The thought that there's someone out there who's going to be mean to my kids and refuse to be like Tana's friend. Imagine someone is going to refuse to be Tana's friend. I can't even. It's just too much. It's too much.
No, Tana, not Tana. I feel like refuse to be Kenny's friend. Yeah, she's got 82 behind.
Right?
Boring. Or she'll let you just tell you.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just be like,
whatever. And she's moved on.
Right, but Tana.
No, don't. No. We
God.
need everyone to be Tana's friend.
Yeah.
If your child is going to the same school, that is your assignment.
Right.
Your
Make
kids need to
sure.
be
Yeah,
Tana's friend.
but I like what you said about like the fact that we struggle to accept them. We don't have to accept them. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like this is the box of like things which happen, which
struggle
are just like I just struggle to,
I
and they can
struggle
be
to
here,
accept them.
and we can choose to instead focus on things that we can control,
Yeah.
that we can accept, or that we can work towards accepting.
There you go.
Thank you.
There was a positive lesson.
There's
in
a
there.
light distantly at the end of the tunnel.
Please tell us some other ones. I feel like most of us were a bit heavy, but there are other things.
Yeah.
Maybe you struggle to accept that your edges are not coming back. That's okay. Maybe you struggle to accept that maybe you might not find the love of your life.
Oh my God. Or that you might not become a billionaire.
And that's it. And you die unsuccessful. Maybe there's those.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There are those.
Yeah.
Like some of your dreams would like die with you.
Oh my God. I struggle to accept the fact that this life that people like Gashagwa are living, as we might never ever experience that. We're just like, 2 billion here, 500 and what million here, gee, what?
Yeah, I'm not accepting
never,
that.
yeah.
No.
Oh.
Deathbed, that's a deathbed acceptance.
All right, not
no,
right
as
now.
long as I'm alive.
I'm only that
and
for.
breathing.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
It's
Yeah, I'm not
possible
going to
for
accept
me.
that.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. Please let us know your views in the caption down, not in the caption, in the comments down below. And we will see you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.